Then I ain't going nowhere. I ain't blowing no smoke. I mean, I've been sober, but you should've known it. I wasn't going.
Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope everyone had an amazing, wonderful weekend and that your week is getting off to a beautiful start. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sunny and welcome to the sunny side. To my new subscribers, guys, I see you. I greatly appreciate you for just subscribing to my channel, joining in on the conversation, guys. I love it. Keep it coming, keep sharing. To my returning subscribers, hey guys, how's everything going? Welcome back. And if you just happen to stumble across my channel for the first time today, welcome. Consider subscribing. Click on that notification bell. That way you will be notified each and every time I upload content here on my channel. Join in on the conversation. And if you like this video, share it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. So in today's video, guys, one of my newer subscribers, I believe it's Kyra or Kira, please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. Hi, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Guys, I told you guys, give me some, recommendations, what you want to hear. And she is interested in hearing about the Lattafa Pride Collection. So you ask, I deliver. And hopefully I do a good job. So today we are going to be talking about the Lattafa Pride Collection. Oh, next up, and I'm going to give her a shout out on this video, I have a subscriber who is interested in the Prada Infusions line. So that video is going to be coming up very soon. But again, today we're going to be talking about Lattafa Pride Collection. If you are interested, Lattafa is one of my favorite Middle Eastern fragrance houses. So if you're interested in learning more about the Lattafa Pride Collection, then keep on watching. So before we jump into our fragrances, I believe I have 9 fragrances that I'm going to talk about today. I have almost all of the Pride Collection. There are just a couple that I do not have. But I'm actually glad that this video was requested. And that is because I got the Lattafa Pride Collection. I've had it probably for 2 or 3 months. And honestly, I don't grab for these fragrances. No rhyme or reason, but right now, for whatever reason, I am really into gourmand fragrances. And my mood tends to change when it comes to fragrances. So sometimes I'm really wanting an oud. Sometimes I really want to smell very feminine. But right now I'm so into gourmands, like I just can't get enough. And I haven't really grabbed for this collection. It was like I ordered it, smelled it, and then I put it away. So I'm really glad that this video was requested just so that I can really revisit these fragrances. And upon doing my research, looking up the notes and revisiting these fragrances, guys, I learned some things because I really felt that a lot of the fragrances in the Pride Collection leaned more masculine, okay? And these are just first impressions, first sniff. Sometimes it's really important to give your fragrance some time. Don't necessarily judge your fragrance off of the first sniff, because once a fragrance has time to sit, to marinate, to macerate is proper terminology, that fragrance will tend to change a little bit. It becomes a little bit more deep. The notes just have time to develop. And so I have learned, instead of getting rid of a fragrance like upon first sniff, just to wait a little bit, go revisit it. I wear it at bedtime. That's like the time that I test my fragrances, because, if I could smell my fragrance when I wake up in the morning, the performance is good, okay? And then I'll spray it, throughout the day and wear it and just see how it lasts. So I am so glad that I revisited these fragrances, because some of them smell quite different now versus first sniff and when I open the bottle when I purchase them. So let's get into these Lattafa Pride fragrances. Hey guys, so the first fragrance that I am going to share with you from the Lattafa Pride Collection is the Le Collection, and this is Day Antiquities, and this is 1505. So this is the bottle, guys. Now, I will share that doing my research on this particular fragrance, I read a lot of different reviews, and I saw that quite a few people were not pleased or impressed by these particular bottles in the Pride collection. Now, do I feel that these are the most aesthetically pleasing bottles? No, not necessarily, depending upon your decor, your arrangement, how you display your fragrances. But I will say that the same thing, even though I don't feel that it is necessarily aesthetically pleasing, I will say that I was actually drawn in and captivated by the actual bottles themselves, which is what intrigued me to try this particular collection. Now, this particular bottle has, I guess maybe this is it's a clock, but more on the lines of like a pocket watch or like a stop clock kind of appeal, but it is a piece of art. It is a piece of art that is raised and placed on this particular bottle. So again, everyone, has a matter of opinion and everyone's tastes aren't the same, and that's okay. But the juice, what is inside of this bottle? So guys, this is a woody, ambery, floral type of fragrance. I would definitely say, in my opinion, and which is another reason why several of these fragrances, upon first sniff, I felt that they leaned more fall winter, but upon revisiting, there are some that I should have been rocking like right now, but we'll get into that. But this one, in my opinion, leans definitely more fall and winter. And let's actually get into the notes of this particular fragrance. Now, I will also share that all of the fragrances in this particular collection are unisex fragrances, with some of them leaning a little bit more masculine in my opinion, and some definitely, I would say one that leans a little bit more feminine. Now, this particular fragrance, the notes are black cherry, saffron. In the middle, we've got frankincense and osmanthus, amorous, and at the base, we have balsamic notes, gaiac wood, and cypra oil. Now, guys, really, upon that first initial spray, you can smell that black cherry so well. Like, you smell the black cherry, you smell the saffron. This fragrance was compared to Cherry Smoke by Tom Ford, and others also mentioned that this fragrance reminds them of Carmina. Now, Cherry Smoke, I can agree with. Carmina, absolutely not. Absolutely, 100%, in my opinion, does not smell like Carmina by Creed. Cherry Smoke, I see it because of the woodiness, the deep cherry scent. So I could definitely see that comparison. But if you love a cherry fragrance that's done a little bit different, then I would highly recommend you to get your nose on this, because you do get the cherry, you do get that saffron, you do get some woodiness. Again, in my opinion, this leans more fall winter, but wear what you want, when you want, how you want. So again, that is the Lay Collections from the Lattafa Pride, and this is Day Antiquities 1505. Oh, and one thing that I did not say, all the fragrances are unisex. The last fragrance that I just shared, I feel that it is equally unisex. It doesn't lean more masculine, but doesn't necessarily lean more feminine. Some people may feel that it leans more masculine depending upon your taste in fragrance. Okay, so the next fragrance that I am going to share with you is Lattafa Embrace, and this is part of the Pride collection. Now, with Embrace, you're going to get citrusy notes. You're definitely going to get some ginger, some woody notes. Guys, when you spray this fragrance, it is very, very bright. It's very airy. You definitely smell that ginger, some spices, get a little bit of greenness. Now, in my opinion, this particular fragrance definitely is more masculine leaning. So this is definitely a more masculine fragrance, but again, it is marketed as a unisex fragrance. So let's get into the notes of this particular fragrance. So Lattafa Embrace, top notes at the top, we have bergamot, we have ginger, warm wood. In the middle, there's patchouli, balsam fir, and incense. And at the base, there's ambergris, benzoin, and oak moss. So guys, this fragrance, you definitely get the bergamot, you definitely get the ginger. It is very bright, perfect for this time of year. In my opinion, there is a fruity note in here. To me, it smells like pineapple. Pineapple's not listed as a note in this particular fragrance, but to me, in my nose, I pick up on a little bit of pineapple, but not the pineapple that you get in like Creed, Aventus. Not that type of pineapple, but it is just a tropical, I don't even want to say tropical. You get a bright, fresh, fruity type of a fragrance. But again, this Embrace, in my opinion, definitely leans more on the masculine side. The next fragrance that I'm going to share with you from the Lattafa Pride Collection, and that is Breeze. So Breeze is a gorgeous, citrusy, bright fragrance that is going to be perfect for summertime. I believe it's got some bergamot, some other notes in there, which I'm going to take a look at my notes here in just a second. But guys, you get a burst of bright, fresh citruses. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, this particular fragrance smells like a household cleaner. I mean, it doesn't smell bad, but I'm always looking at when I'm cleaning my house, just with my fragrances, just with everything that I have, I love fragrance. So when it comes to my household cleaning supplies, I'm looking for household cleaning supplies that are going to just leave my house smelling great and smelling fresh. And honestly, when I spray this, it kind of is reminiscent of a household cleaner, and that's just me spraying it in the air. Now let's kind of hop into the notes of this particular fragrance. So Breeze, at the top, you are definitely going to have bergamot, incense, cardamom. In the middle, there's lily of the valley, cyclamen, and at the base, there is musk, sandalwood, and cedar. Now guys, I'm gonna be completely honest. In terms of the bergamot, maybe the lily of the valley in the middle, I'm gonna be honest. My nose, and I'm just spraying this in the air because again, I don't even have my tester strips, and I refuse to order more because I have a bunch in Florida. And so I do have tester strips. I don't really want to spray it on because I have on a whole different combo today. As a matter of fact, what's your scent of the day? My scent of the day today is, because I was talking about in my last video, I had to pull it out, is Balenciaga Flora Botanica. That is what I'm rocking today. But let me get back on track. Breeze. I do not, in my nose, on my nose, around my nose, I smell no incense. I do not pick up on sandalwood. Maybe I can see the musk, but it's very, very bright, airy. And I don't really smell the cedar. That's gonna come in the dry down, I'm sure, but me just upon first initial spray and sniff. Now, again, this is another fragrance that, in my opinion, leans more masculine. So for guys, this fragrance is going to be, again, perfect. Breeze. The name Breeze says it all. It's citrusy, it's airy, it's very aromatic. And again, it's gonna be perfect for a hot summer day. Again, this is a unisex fragrance. Now, I will tell you that even though this leans more masculine, I will wear this fragrance. And I feel like fragrances are gonna smell different based on your body chemistry, based on what you layer this with. So if I wear this Breeze, maybe I might layer it with maybe something sweet like a vanilla, just to give it a little bit of warmth, a little bit of coziness, to feminine up. To make this fragrance lean a little bit more feminine, but I would definitely still rock this fragrance even though it leans a little bit more masculine. Okay, carry on. Let me digress. That is Breeze, and again, that is part of the Lattafa Pride Collection. Guys, this next fragrance, I am so glad that this video was requested because this fragrance might have been sitting for a while. And I mean, I would have eventually gotten around to revisiting these fragrances, But again, they're just not what I'm pulling for at the moment. But this particular fragrance, I am so glad that I went to revisit. This is going to be one that's in rotation. And this one is, again, from the Lattafa Pride Collection. And this one is Le Collection de Antiquities. And this one is 1910. So this one is with the motorcycle. The other one that I showed you had the stopwatch on it. The Breeze has like a tree that's a person kind of look like they're blowing in the wind. And then the Embrace has hands that are locked together. So Embrace, the name says it all. Breeze says it all. And the motorcycle and the time clock, I don't know what that represents, but I don't know. It's got a motorcycle on here. But okay, let's get into this fragrance, guys. This is a fruity, vanilla, woody type of a fragrance. I feel that this fragrance is going to be perfect for year round. You can wear this in the fall, you can wear it in the winter, you can wear it in the summer, you can wear it in the spring. I feel that it would be appropriate for many, many occasions. So even during the day, at night, I feel that this fragrance would really be appropriate. So let's get into this fragrance. Notes are at the top, we've got rose, apple, davana, cedar, osmanthus, tonka bean, vanilla, and patchouli. Guys, this fragrance is so good. The rose, the fruity notes, it's got apple, that vanilla. Guys, this is really, really good. I know that some people do not like patchouli in their fragrances, but I don't pick up on a lot of patchouli. I don't mind patchouli. I don't pick up on a lot of patchouli, guys. This is, to me, is blended so nice. Now, a few other things that I read when looking at reviews of this particular fragrance, and that is a lot of people feel as though these particular fragrances in this line don't necessarily have that longevity, that sillage, that projection. Now, again, let your fragrances sit for a little bit. Allow them to macerate, because a lot of times once my fragrances have macerated, the projection, the sillage is going to be much stronger if that's what you like, if that's what you're into. The other thing, again, that I do, as I shared and showed in my last video, I do spray my clothing with my fragrance. And honestly, if I spray this on my clothing, I feel as though it would last. I would get a good wear at least 12 hours, okay? So again, that is Lattafa Pride Collection, and this is Le Collection de Antiquities, and this one is 1902. Really quick disclaimer, I had to revisit this. Really quick disclaimer. As I mentioned, a lot of my fragrances in this particular collection I felt leaned more masculine. This particular, even though they're all unisex, this particular fragrance, honestly, I don't feel that it leans one way or the other. I feel it's right down the middle, and I do feel that anyone could wear this fragrance and truly enjoy it. Again, you can wear it anytime. And so I just wanted to add that little disclaimer. Okay, carrying on. Now, the next fragrance that I'm going to share with you in the Lattafa Pride Collection is Le Collection de Antiquities, and this is 1886. So 1886, and this one has the old-fashioned car on there. You can see, and actually I'm going to turn my bottle like that because you can see how it is actually, don't look at my nails, I still haven't gotten them done. You can see that it is actually raised from the bottle. So it's like a little piece of artwork, like I said. This particular fragrance is a white floral, sweet, woody type of a fragrance. Definitely smell those white florals. This is a little bit sweet. You do smell the woodiness in this particular fragrance. So let's kind of hop into the notes. Now, do I love this fragrance? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I would wear it. I do plan on wearing it. It's in my collection and I bought it, so I'm going to wear it. But this is one that I'm going to have to do kind of more of a wear test and just kind of see how it performs, see how it does throughout the day. But let's get into the notes of this particular fragrance. So At the top, you have mate, you have bergamot, there is orris, there's bark, cinnamon, tonka, jasmine, white chocolate, white Tabasco, oh my goodness, white tobacco, musk, vanilla, and patchouli. Guys, I'm gonna tell you guys just this little, so little backstory. I'm usually recording my videos after work. And when I tell you I am on meetings and on Zoom all day long, and I literally talk all day. So by the time I get ready to record these videos, when I tell you I am tongue-tied because usually my throat is dry. I've been talking all day, but I want to get this content out to you guys. So I'm trying to be very, very consistent with my recording. So please forgive me. So it's got tobacco, not Tabasco. Now, I'm going to be honest about this particular fragrance as well. Like I mentioned, I smell some sweetness. I smell the white floral, which is going to be that jasmine. When I was looking up the notes to this fragrance prior to purchasing it, what stood out to me was the white chocolate. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. But honestly, I get the sweetness, but I don't necessarily pick up on that it's a chocolate note. I don't even like white chocolate, but the smell of it seemed very, very appealing in a fragrance, especially considering that I do enjoy gourmand fragrances. The other thing that I don't pick up on in this fragrance is the cinnamon. I do not smell cinnamon in this particular fragrance. At least my nose is not picking it up. Now, in terms of this particular fragrance, I definitely feel that this is a unisex fragrance. I do agree with how they marketed this particular fragrance, as most of Lattafa's fragrances are, I believe. Well, I shouldn't say most, because I know that Now Woman definitely leans more feminine. But many of Lattafa's fragrances are definitely unisex. I would say this fragrance maybe leans more masculine. As I mentioned, that's why I hadn't really pulled for these. I actually tell my fiance, like, if he's looking for a fragrance, I'm like, just grab one of those. Any of those are gonna smell good in this collection for him. And yes, so I do feel that this particular fragrance leans a little bit more masculine, but again, this is one that I am gonna have to try and play around with, because I have not done a proper wear for this particular fragrance. So again, Lattafa Pride Collection, the Antiquities 1886. Okay guys, hopefully you can hear me okay. I realized that my microphone died and my last, this part of my video was like muted. So hopefully you guys can hear me, because I am now recording without a microphone. So if you notice a change in the sound of my video, that is why. So the next fragrance that I'm going to share with you from the Lattafa Pride Collection is Vintage Radio. So Vintage Radio, guys, a woody, fruity, spicy, aromatic type of a fragrance. Guys, this particular fragrance, I'm actually really, really glad that I pulled this as another one and revisit it, because it smells really good. Let's get into the notes of this particular fragrance. So Vintage Radio has lavender, bergamot, sage, plum, palo santo, black pepper, sandalwood, and oud. So guys, a lot of times fragrances that have lavender, in my opinion, tend to lean more masculine. Or if I wear a fragrance with lavender, I typically wear it to bed, because if you think of lavender, those essential oils, eucalyptus, things like that, it kind of just makes me think of like relaxing, spa type of a vibe when I think of lavender. Now, the beautiful thing about this fragrance is that plum note. So I love a fragrance that has a plum or a fig, and that really truly sweetens this fragrance up. This fragrance has been compared to a reminiscent of Inicio's Paragon. So if you like Inicio's Paragon, then more than likely you will like Vintage Radio. Guys, this is such a beautiful fragrance. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of the oud in here, I don't smell any oud. I really don't. I don't smell oud in this fragrance. Again, maybe because I haven't done a proper wearing, but I definitely get the other notes in this fragrance. So that bergamot, because you get some brightness, you get some sweetness from the plum, the black pepper, that spiciness, the Palo Santo, so you're gonna get a little bit of woodiness in there. But in terms of an oud, guys, I don't pick up on oud in this fragrance. But again, this is by the Lattafa Pride Collection, and that is Vintage Radio. So the next fragrance that I'm going to share with you guys, if you are a fragrance lover, if you're in the fragrance community, or even if you're new to fragrance, this particular fragrance might be one out of all the fragrances in this collection that you're most familiar with. And that is because it is inspired by a very, very popular fragrance that has been trending. And that is Lattafa's Affection, and that is Love, or Lattafa's Affection. Guys, this is a yummy, sweet, pistachio, creamy vanilla, gourmand type of a fragrance. Now, we all know and have heard of and are familiar with Kayali's Yum Pistachio. And that is what this is reminiscent of. That is what this is inspired by. Guys, when Yum Pistachio came out, I was so excited. I had every single intention. I was waiting for it. I was watching and counting down to the day that that fragrance was going to be released. Something in me told me to just hold tight, because I have a lot of Kayali fragrances in my collection. You probably can't see them because they're like down here. So I have quite a few Kayali fragrances. I love Kayali, but as of recent, I was not necessarily pleased. One thing that I didn't like about Kayali, I don't like the way the atomizer sprays. It's kind of misty, and the performance is not always the best. But I love Kayali. I love Mona. Just, she seems like such a bright, beautiful, bubbly spirit, and I just love just the way that she even markets her fragrances. I think is absolutely amazing and fun. So I did go to Sephora. I got my nose on Kayali, and it smelled good, but again, that performance in the sillage, I just couldn't see paying that price point for that particular fragrance. So I didn't add it to my collection. I have Affection, and to be completely honest, Affection is great. Let's get into the notes before I dive more into this fragrance. So when it comes to the notes of Affection, it has at the top pistachio, hazelnut, blackcurrant, lactones, raspberry, jasmine, lily of the valley, and at the base there are more lactones, vanilla, and tonka bean. Now, lactones are it's a synthetic note, and actually I may do a video on that, on just fragrance notes and what they really smell like, because you know, we as fragrance lovers, we go through these notes, but you know, until I really got into, you know, my fragrance collecting and really doing more research, I had no idea what lactones is. I had no idea what does blackcurrant actually truly smell like. So maybe, you know, if you guys are interested, let me know, and I will do a video on popular fragrance notes and what they smell like. That way you can better determine when an influencer or you're looking up your favorite fragrances and they're referring to notes, what exactly those notes smell like. Now, getting into Affection. Affection, great price point, less expensive than Kayali. However, to be honest, this does not perform that well at all. I have to reapply this fragrance, which I don't mind doing. So I'll reapply it. I also have by Paris Corner, that pistachio fragrance, and I also have this pistachio fragrance by Finery, which is sold at Target. All of them are great. All of them I have to reapply, but this is a yummy, fun, gourmand fragrance, and I'm really glad that I added it to my collection. So again, the House of Lattafa Pride Collection, and this is Affection. The next fragrance that I am going to share with you is one that I'm really glad that I revisited, and that is because I could be wearing this right now. As a matter of fact, this will be immediately added to the rotation, and that is Lattafa Pride and that is Le African Drummer. So this is Le African Drummer, and I actually read the notes to this several times. I read reviews on this fragrance, and I was hesitant on purchasing this fragrance because a lot of reviews that I read said that this smelled a little vintagey. And to a certain extent, I could see why someone who is much younger would say that this is more of a maybe vintagey fragrance because of the florals. Now, this fragrance is like a vacation in a bottle. Just like I talked about vacation fragrances in a couple other videos, 2 videos ago or something like that. This is definitely a vacation vibe. So let's jump into the notes of this fragrance. So at the top, this has coconut, bergamot, ylang ylang, jasmine, orange blossom, and at the base there's musk, ambroxan, and vanilla. Now, the reason why I could see a younger person saying that this fragrance is a little vintagey is because of the yellow florals. These yellow florals are a little bit heavier, but in my opinion, with the coconut, the creaminess from the coconut, this makes for a really, really beautiful tropical fragrance. Definitely a vacation vibe, but I could see someone more mature wearing this fragrance. You gotta be refined. You gotta be mature, classy. I'm just joking. But really, this is a beautiful, gorgeous fragrance. Now, this fragrance has been compared to Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, Juliet Has a Gun, Lust for Sunset. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I talked about Soleil Blanc in another video. I think it was the same vacation video, vacation fragrances or tropical vibes. This does not smell like Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. No, it doesn't. I could see on the vibes of if you're just talking about a vacation scent, this also does definitely not smell like Juliet Has a Gun. I have tons of Juliet Has a Gun fragrances. I'm not gonna say tons, but I have a few Juliet Has a Gun fragrances, and I've smelled quite a few Juliet Has a Gun fragrances. This does not smell like Juliet Has a Gun, okay? This does smell like a tropical vacation in a bottle. You're gonna get your yellow florals. So if you're a floral gal, you'll probably like this fragrance. But this is, again, Le African Drummer by the House of Lattafa, and this is the Lattafa Pride Collection. And coming up on the last fragrance that I'm gonna share with you as a part of the Lattafa Pride Collection. As I mentioned, there are a few others that are in the collection that I don't have, but again, I do have quite a few. So the next fragrance that I'm gonna share with you is called Raw Human. Now, guys, I'm just gonna be honest. Again, I was intrigued by this bottle. I don't know, it was something about this bottle that I was just literally drawn to. Because when I read the notes in the fragrance, I did not, in the reviews, I was like, I'm not gonna like it. And I'll tell you why here in just a moment. And I also read what this particular fragrance kind of encompasses, and really this whole line, because I was like, what is the Lattafa Pride Collection supposed to represent? So it's supposed to represent unity, love, coming together, you know, things of that nature. And I could see that because of the diversity with the bottles, with the Raw Human, the bottle with affection that says love, the embrace with the fingers interlocked or intertwined, the vintage radio, so taking you back in time, the breeze, which is a person with just trees made up of a tree or a leaf is what it looks like, branches, and it's showing the breeze. So I can definitely see where Lattafa was going with the unity and diversity of the fragrances. Now, with Raw Human is supposed to represent intimacy, connection, and sensuality. So let's get into the notes of this fragrance. So with Raw Human, you have apricot, you have plum, pink pepper at the top. In the middle, you have osmanthus, olabdanum, strax, and fir blossom. Fir balsam. Now, guys, what really stood out to me when I first sprayed this fragrance was I got immediately a scent of leather. Now, I'm not a huge leather fan, but I think I can do this fragrance. I'm gonna try it. I haven't really worn it. I'm gonna try it. because I believe that in this particular fragrance, because it's got the apricot, it's got the plum, like I mentioned, I really love a plum. The pink pepper gives it some spiciness. It kind of blends in well with that leathery note. Now, while this does not actually have a note of leather, I'm gonna assume that that's the Strax that's maybe smelling like that, I'm not sure. But I will tell you, this fragrance, in my opinion, this does not, like when I spray it, I don't think of intimacy. I don't. I'm at a loss for words because I don't know what intimacy smells like. I know what, I'm gonna keep it PG. I'm gonna tell you what it smells like. I'm gonna tell you what it smells like to me. Put it like this. I know when my man smells good and when I wanna like hug him and be close and up on him, I'll just put it like that. That is not this. This to me smells like a cloudy, dreary, cold day. That is what this smells like. It smells like I should have on a thick, knitted, cozy, soft, very heavy sweater with maybe some jeans and some boots, or maybe a jacket with a scarf. This reminds me of a cold, rainy day. I don't know why, but that's just what I think about, because that's probably when I'd wear this fragrance, when it's cold outside and it smells like a rainy day. That's just what, I'm just being honest. That's what it smells like to me. I don't know. If you have Raw Human in your collection, let me know what you think about this fragrance. Let me know your thoughts and how you feel about this fragrance. So Raw Human, again, this is one that I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna try it out. Not right now because I don't feel like it's appropriate for summer. I feel like it would be too cloying. It's just doing way too much, but definitely in those cooler months, I will be breaking out Raw Human, and we'll see what compliments I get. We'll see what Babe says, see if he likes it or not. So this is last but not least from the house of Lattafa, and that is Raw Human. So guys, that is what I have for you today. If you have any of these fragrances, drop in the comments below. I am curious of what your thoughts are in regard to these fragrances. Again, I haven't done necessarily a proper wearing with all of these fragrances, but I am so glad that my new subscriber recommended me to do a video on this fragrance, or requested a video on these fragrances, because it really made me just go back, do some research, dive in and smell these fragrances. And I have a couple that I'm going to be pulling to the forefront immediately. So again, if you have any of these, please comment below. Guys, if you haven't subscribed and you're here watching, just click on that subscribe button. It only takes a second. Just like move your finger and just hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Click on that notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time I upload content here on my channel. And until next time, guys,